Nice.
Oh, I thought you were playing it from the beginning. My bad.
You know what? What? Hey, what do you do
I'm
for
gonna be
Halloween?
coughing up. I'm gonna be coughing up a storm, dude. I'm sick as hell. Halloween. I don't do shit for Halloween.
Really?
Yeah, that's
No
like my
dress up, no nothing.
nah. It's like my daughter's thing. So I'll probably take her
Damn.
out.
You know
Take her
what?
out
I'm
trick or
actually the
treating.
same way, man. I dress up all year as a fucking clown, and then on Halloween, I'm a 42-year-old lonely person that's just exhausted with life.
That sounds extremely depressing.
I don't know any.
Extremely.
I don't know any other way to be. I'm so sorry, Brian. I don't know any other way to be. Hey, but Spider-Man 2 though.
I still haven't played it.
Did you get to play it yet or no?
I don't have a PS5.
Damn. Yeah, I'm broke. I don't got a PS5. I got like a PS1.
So what were you getting all souped and amped up about? You ain't played the shit.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. And what is up? Welcome back. It is Friday night. You're here with the Average Boys podcast. It's your boy Crispy and your big boy Brian D from New Jersey. Brian D, how's it going? Welcome back, bro. Fucking Halloween's coming up. Damn.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm really excited. Halloween's always a fun year, you know, seeing everybody, you know, fucking clamor and dress up and get real like, yo, what's the smallest piece of material I can put on my body and still be a sexy fucking Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas or whatnot. Are you I think I asked you this right now, but are you like super like excited, or like do you guys have friends that get together and do crazy like Halloween stuff, or like what's the tradition?
To be honest with you, I don't even remember the last time I dressed up for Halloween. I usually will go to a party, but just, you know, get drunk or something like that. But
Sure.
listen, I know that dressing up and all that, that's not really it's not really my thing. I take it as your thing though, right? Are you a big dress upper or?
It's real crazy, like, because I mean, you know, like I do like Comic Cons and conventions and cosplays and stuff like that, but I actually find just more entertainment and excitement just building stuff.
Okay.
Like, that's where I get like a lot of my things, because like I like to do art shit. So like the opportunity to make like a costume come to life and it look kind of realistic, like, and it surprised people, like that's what I like.
Okay.
I really appreciate that. So like that's kind of like, I guess, the thing that I'm more excited for. Yeah, yeet indeed, my man. Yeet indeed. Good to see everybody in the comment section. Juan, good to see you, my man. I hope you and your boy are doing good. And I saw that boxing match that he did. Good job, man. Congratulations on your son's win, and onwards to more of a bigger, better stuff. So awesome. Elizabeth, good to see you all the way from San Antonio, coming in saying Splatfest is happening, and I'm team ghosts, and ghosts are the best. I don't understand what that means, but ghosts can fucking eat an ass, bro. Like, I am not.
What's your problem with ghosts?
Dude, I don't know. Like, can you imagine you're just chilling out at home, you're making a fucking sandwich or some shit, and just some things like watching you from behind your back? Like, I genuinely don't like ghosts. What about you, Brian? Have you ever had a situation that's like, I mean, dude, you are like, you're close to like the big populated areas. So same thing with Elizabeth, San Antonio. So like you guys probably have a way cooler opportunity than us in our little village, you know, to fucking see some ghost shit. But I don't know, man. Like, we still have like those old school, like scary looking, like in the middle of nowhere cemeteries. And I mean, I've never seen some real shit, but you know, I got stories and stories.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't know. I believe that there is something that, like, you look straight up conspiracy shit, right? Like, let's break it down.
Shit.
Yo, during like the Great Inquisition and like all of that stuff, like the Great Enlightenment, when the church came in and told people like, yo, quit doing science shit and turning coal into gold and all that shit. Like, I really believe that there was like a part of life that there was a study of like supernatural shit, and then there was a study of like science. Okay. And the church came in and they were like, no, fuck that. Delete all that shit you're coming up with. Don't even worry about it. And we just don't have like a real means of science to really study it. Okay. There is some shit that kind of pops off. Like, you know, you see something in the corner of your eye, you know, you've seen videos where like a fucking knife flies out of a knife stack, and you're like, okay, that's some scary shit. Like, yeah. But it's so hard to discern things nowadays because of the fact that like CG and movies and all these programs in people's phone that can make shit happen. Like, yeah, it's so hard to kind of tell what's real from what's not. Me?
So
it's cool.
What's that?
I think ghosts are cool. I think I'm about it. I'm about it.
So do you believe do you believe in ghosts or not, bro?
I believe,
You just went on this entire long ass rant
but
and didn't
I
even
have
answer
to
my
put it.
question. You were
I'm
talking
gonna
about
give something that
science
I
and
have
the
to put a
Inquisitions and the
reason.
Incas and the
Inquisition.
aliens and shit. Like, I don't care.
Spaniards,
Do
bro.
you believe in ghosts or not, bruh?
I'm gonna say yes.
All right, there
I'm
we
gonna say
go.
yes.
Yes.
Brian, what about you?
Fuck yeah, they're real.
You believe in
Yeah.
ghosts?
Hell yeah.
Tell me, dude. You speaking with a hell yeah and a fuck yeah kind of mentality, like you've seen some shit. Tell me you've seen some shit.
I can't say I've seen them. I believe in them. I believe in entities. I believe, I think there's entities wandering around us all the time. I do believe that.
Okay. And what do you think? How do you think that they like? Okay, so like if you believe in that, like the afterlife kind of like hurts the idea of like a heaven hell kind of thing, that you can get stuck on this plane of existence and you don't really go anywhere, right? Like so, like how does it all kind of come to terms? And you're like,
Why would you think that? Why would you think that if I believe in ghosts, I wouldn't believe in a
no,
heaven or a hell?
you do. That's what I'm saying. Like you do probably believe in an afterlife, but if there's the concept of ghosts and they stay here on this plane of existence, like kind of like slipping in and out.
Yeah.
How would you conceive it to be with like a heaven and hell? You know, in religion, there would be like a purgatory and all this other stuff. Like, what's your concept on it then? Like, why would they stay stuck here in this thing?
To be honest with you, I think Mike says it the easiest right there, bro. Like
Mike comes in with this crazy fucking
right there, bro. I think it makes sense that I just think that there's energy around us. I think there's energy in us that, once we leave here, it can stay.
Catholic is showing. Let me do the cross or whatever.
Now, if you ask me if there's a heaven and a hell, that's a different subject, a different topic for a different story.
Yeah.
But do I believe there's ghosts? Yes, I believe there's ghosts.
So, do you believe in all the like the demon stuff, like from those movies and shit? Like, what is it like? I guess The Conjuring, is that one of them, where they have like specific like demons that come into existence, like ghosts too and shit like that. What's that one where the guy has like the Darth Maul face and he like pops up behind the dude? What was that one movie? Do you remember?
No.
That was fuck. I can't remember. Insidious.
Okay.
Insidious. Remember, there's that scene where like I think it's like in the first film where like someone talks to the main actor and then like right behind him there's like this fucking like red and black. I call it the Darth Maul face. Like
okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the Darth Maul face. You lost me on that one. But yeah.
No, because he's painted all black with like red lines and stuff like that. So like, it just like automatically was like, oh shit, Darth Maul. Like,
gotcha.
It really didn't scare me, but yeah. So like, do you believe in that stuff too?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I have to, right? If I believe there's energies that people leave, it could be some evil shit as well.
So were you one of those people that was like totally pissed off that Hasbro was like releasing like family Ouija boards at fucking Walmart, like that one year that they were just selling them in the board game section?
Why?
You don't remember that shit? You don't remember that shit?
No, but why would I be pissed about that?
Fuck, it's a fucking Ouija board. Isn't that like a bad thing?
So what?
Is that like that's a bad thing, isn't it? Like,
okay.
I need to ask everybody in the comment section, like, is playing with a Ouija board, is that like a good or bad thing? I've always considered that like a fucking bad thing.
Why?
It's scary as fuck. It's like the unknown. It's like, okay, like you watch like Ghost Hunters and you watch, like me, I love Ghost Hunters. Like I like those kind of shows, right? Ghost Adventures, that one guy that's like, you wouldn't touch my ass, and then the ghost touches his ass and then he freaks out or whatever. Like that shit makes Gaff Bannigan, or what's his name? I don't remember his name. But like every time that someone uses a Ouija board in one of those things, it talks about it being like a doorway or a key. And then in my mind, imagination kicks in and you just have that like Fantasia fucking thing come out of like your basement, and all the ghosts are like, whoa, 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 like just flying out. Like you're just like fucking this place. Like that's my mentality of a Ouija board.
Okay.
Like for you, it's just one of those things like, it's just a thing with a little thing on it.
It's a fucking Ouija board, bro. Like, dude, like, I don't believe in that shit.
Look at what people are saying in the comment section. Fucking April's hot pink honey hole. That's my boy. Wrong hole Rick. It's got a hole in the title. Good to see you, my man. He says Hasbro has been making Ouija boards for decades. I bet you if you look at some of the original Ouija boards from like back in the day, like Hasbro's name is gonna be like made in the great old USA kind of shit. Like they don't give a fuck, dude. They just want this place dead.
If you're telling me, all right, so I do believe in spiritual energies being left on this planet. If you're asking me if they can be summoned by a board game that's made by Hasbro, no.
No, not at all.
No.
What would it take then? Like, what is it? What? Okay, in your opinion, I'm not a witch. I know you're not a witch either. yeah, you're not a witch either. What would be your like if you were at like a thrift store and you saw like the Hasbro Ouija board, then you saw another Ouija board. What would that other Ouija board look like? And you would be like, nah, I ain't fucking with that. What would it have to look like for you to be like, I ain't fucking with that. That's fucked up. I ain't touching that shit. Like, what would it need to look like? Because like the Hasbro ones, I've seen. Like I see that shit like all the time.
I've seen them my entire fucking life. That's what I'm saying. Like you're telling me that this American company or whatever the fuck Hasbro is, whatever company that's from, is trying. That's how I equate this. They're trying to make a fucking buck out of all these people that think that they can summon
gothic emo kids,
that they can summon a demon through a fucking board game. That's what I think about it. I don't look at it as, oh shit, like that's how you summon a fucking
some Illuminati
demon. Shit, right? Yeah, like that's
Hasbro got their hand in the game and shit.
That's not how I think this goes personally. Then again, I don't know. I could be wrong. I haven't touched a Ouija. I don't think I've ever touched a Ouija board. But you know, I don't think that's how this works.
Can you imagine you get invited one day? Our podcast hits like the pinnacle where the Illuminati hits us up. And we show up and these motherfuckers using a Hasbro fucking Ouija board. I'm out.
I'd walk straight out. I wouldn't walk out because it's some weird shit. I would walk out because it's some fake shit.
Because it's some fucking Hasbro Ouija board shit.
Yeah, you're not gonna tell me that you're not gonna tell me that someone before they came to this party on the way to the chip aisle to get the bag of fucking Doritos to bring to the party stopped in the fucking game.
Pick up the Ouija board.
They stopped in the game board aisle and picked up a Ouija board. Fuck out of here.
It was either fucking what's that fucking game? Cards Against Humanity,
Chutes and Ladders. It was either Chutes and Ladders or
Ouija board.
Ouija board.
Can you imagine one exciting night in someone's house like 14 years ago? Was like, hey kids, we were gonna get the fucking slots game with the dots or whatever, but we picked up a Ouija board. Time to have some fun tonight.
Yeah, they were all out of sorry. So
can you imagine that shit? What was like their plot point was like, you know what? It's either we make Monopoly, like the new series, or just a fucking demon summoning fucking tool device or whatnot. In the comment section, I think we went back a little bit. Michael Bencourt says Ouija boards are bad in the Christian faith, and they're tools in certain aspects in Brujeria. No different than runes in Norse practice. Maybe, I don't know. April's hot pink honey hole, our boy wrong hole Rick, says Ouija boards are gates or open gates to other dimensions that you cannot close. Yep, like the Avengers, bro, like the fucking Avengers. And Michael Betancourt then says tools, it's a tool, it isn't evil, it's how you use it. Now Alex put up something that's pretty fucking interesting. He says, I know someone that got possessed using one of these and they needed deliverance. I'm gonna need a phone number and I'm gonna need to put this guy on the podcast. I want to know exactly what happened to this cat, dude. Have you ever seen that shit where people like fucking get possessed by shit and they put it on like the internet and all that stuff? What do you think about that stuff? Like, what do you think about like possession? I think this is around the time that we could talk about this shit and be comfortable, right? Like Halloween, like ooh.
Was there a time that we can't feel comfortable about talking about this?
Christmas. I don't want to talk about possession during Christmas, dude.
Do I believe in possessions? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know.
That's one of those type of things I would have to experience myself. Like I would have to actually physically be there to see that happening. I'm not gonna take anyone's word that it happened, or if I saw it online, I'm not gonna believe that shit. Like,
it's like one of those things, man. Like when you hear someone talking about it and they're like, "This person was as strong as 5 men," and this is, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't think she can bench me. I don't think she can out bench me. I got this shit. I'll bring my weight set, dude. I'm gonna lay on top and they can push me off or whatever. I want to see what's up. Wrong Hole Rick even says, I also have a friend that was possessed using a Ouija board. But
were
like,
you guys there, bro? Like, were you guys there? Like, did you guys see this personally?
Well, I want to know, like, okay, he's possessed, like was it a big dude and then all of a sudden he started doing backflips? Like, how did you know? Like, was there something that he was doing that he normally could not do?
This motherfucker took a bump of meth and just started tripping, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, did he get possessed and then automatically jump out of a 3rd-story building and like completely sprint? Like, I mean, if he did some shit that was like shit that you just can't explain, like, the guy's dumb as fuck, but like the moment he got possessed, he was like a genius in math. Like, what was it that
jumped up and stuck
you,
to the ceiling and shit?
Yeah, I gotta know. I gotta
see that.
Yeah, you gotta tell us.
I gotta see that.
I was there. He says he was there. Right. What did he do that like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna get this guy some Jack in the Box because he's not himself. Like what? Yeah, because I don't know what do you do? Like, what do you do? Like, what do you do? Like, what do you do?
All right, so wrong hole, Rick. What was the solution? How did you guys get this?
Yeah, because it's like I've seen
the
movies.
Ouija board? You got the Ouija board out and got the entity out of this guy.
You hit him with it or what? Like what are you gonna do? Is it turns out like a fucking wrestling match? You pull the Ouija board out, you hit him a couple of times, you get the Bible, you put it on him and punch him in the face. Like, what did you do? Like, not a lot of people are like, nah, man, I had a holy water, some fucking stakes, and some crosses. Like that's just not real, man. You had like silverware. Like, what did you do? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't fucking understand. Like, okay. You
gotta wave a butter knife at him.
Yeah, benefit of the doubt. You pulled out like some rosary beads or some shit. Like, okay, what Bible verses do you use against it? Like, what items do you like? You carry water and you're like, splash, bitch, it's holy. Like, how what do you do? He said his eyes glowed green, his voice sounded like DJ Screw Tape. It took 8 people to hold him down. I don't know, man. It probably
I need to see proof.
I think you guys
know what? Yo, you know why I'm not, you know why I ain't shit as a friend? Because if I was in that situation where a friend of mine, his eyes were glowing green and he sounded all fucked up and it took 8 people to hold him down, it would have been one person less because I would have had my phone out recording this shit.
Yeah,
I would have got 1 million views on YouTube over that shit. Like, you're wrong, Rick, you're a better friend than me because I would have pulled out my phone extremely quick.
So he says, okay, his perspective was his eyes were glowing green. His voice sounded like DJ Screw Tape. 8 people took to hold him down. And we took out the Ouija board, ripped it up, and set it on fire. Then started to pray. Do you think that's fucking counterintuitive, bro? You're already like 80% in. Your friend's like fucking cheesed out, and you're like, you know what? Some religion would fucking solve this issue. Like,
listen, one really hard, quick strike to the jaw would have just knocked him out.
Yeah, I would have clicked his
y'all
ass.
Y'all did way too much. Yeah, you guys did way too much, bro. Just knock him out, and then that's it. He'll wake up tomorrow morning.
What it should have been was 8 people holding him down. Good, 8 people should have jumped his ass, dude. Yeah. That would have calmed that demon or whatever the fuck was inside of him. That demon would have gotten
out real quick.
Yeah, he would have been like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm super sorry. Like, 8 dudes just clicking the fuck out of him would have just changed the dynamic of this ghost attitude, bro.
Yeah.
He then said, we rebuked you in the name of Jesus. Be gone, demon. I rebuke you from the name of Jesus Christ. All right. That's crazy. We were praying the whole time. Counterintuitive after you've already done the deed, bro.
I need proof.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I need to be in contact with this dude, and we'll let him use his Ouija board again. I want him to contact this thing and prove it, man. That'd be crazy. Hey, man, but if you experience some shit, like, cool on you, man. That sounds like a really fun story to tell friends. Like, oh yeah, this one time my friend's eyes were glowing and all that shit. Wild stuff. I'd never fuck with that stuff in my heartbeat, dude. Fuck no. But yeah, I've never really experienced anything too wild. You know, seen some shit, seen some dark stuff, you know, entities. Let me ask you. Do you think a cemetery would be haunted if dead people never, like, they're only laying there, like they're meat carcasses or meat bags, like not their souls? Like, do you think those places would be just as haunted as anyone else?
Sure.
You think so?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. There was something about it that's like, well, it's after the factor that the people die. It's just like their meats. Their bags, they're meat Gundams. Let's say they're meat mechs.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you, bro. Like, these are questions you're asking me I have never thought about in life.
Yeah, I've never done this either.
Ever.
Well, you know what? Fuck that. Because this correlates very well to like the zombie apocalypse, right?
Okay.
Like, do you think zombies would be in a cemetery or somewhere where there's active people, like a hospital? I would say it would be a hospital because that's where you take people that are injured, sick, and all this stuff. Cemetery, they're already fucking dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like I've never associated like ghosts and all that shit to cemeteries as much. But like I always hear like crazy like stories and like TikTok videos of people walking through cemeteries and like witnessing. I don't know if you've ever seen like the security guard videos of people like walking through like the I think on mausoleums, right? That's where they put like the little the rooms of all the families and stuff. And they would see like the lights flickering and sounds and bangings, and it's very theatrical, very theatrical. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really quite seen all that too much. Now I think wrong hole Rick's on drugs, man. He sees I've seen what the fuck is a fire fairy, bro? What the fuck is a fire fairy? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. You know what that is, Brian?
A fire? No, I don't.
No, I don't know what that is. What about? He's got a good point. Ghosts, aliens, and UFO. What do you think about aliens and UFO, Brian?
We talked about this a few times. I believe that we aren't the only species.
Oh yeah. We talked about species, like we believe we're the only species, but have you ever seen something?
No.
You're like, no, I don't believe. I've never seen shit though. Yeah, me neither, man. In theory, if the Christian cemetery, there shouldn't be a ghost, and numbers of evil should be blessed hollow grounds. Yeah, that's what I always thought. Blessed hollow grounds. Elizabeth says, I'd be on a cruise ship to cause ships to have morgues for people to pass on ships if they are coming back from the dead. A few places would be safe. I don't know. It's a good point. She's saying, like, I guess, like, if someone dies on a boat and you guys are going to cruise, and they put the body in there, that would kind of casually, yeah, I guess you could. That's like Ghost Ship or some shit, like a movie or whatever. But yeah, yeah, ghosts are a fucking crazy thing, man. I do believe in ghosts, and I think it's a crazy season, man. Brian, I didn't get to ask you, how was your week, man? Let's break it down. Let's get to it.
It's a hard left. It was cool. Well, actually, it wasn't cool. I'm sick as fuck. I had the flu all fucking week. Just now getting over it. So if you guys hear me cough, I do apologize, or sneeze.
Hey man, well, good. I'm glad you're getting better.
Just trying to get through the week. But how about yourself? How was your week?
Good. I had heard recently about like the COVID, I guess the cuff or whatever. Did you hear about this new like variant that's going around that's causing like bloody noses and like all of this other stuff? No, there's this like, I forgot what it's called, but just to let people know, there is like this wild new strain of COVID, right? And it causes bloody noses. I just want to let people know about this because I heard about it a couple of days ago. It's something with a P. It's like Polaris, Polarium. You guys have to look it up, but yeah, apparently it causes like some stuff that causes bloody nose, irritation, kind of feels like a cold. It's not as hard hitting as what the virus was doing before. And apparently if you get yourself checked, sometimes it doesn't pop up until later. So just be aware there's a small virus going around, be vigilant, or I don't know what the fuck people say. Just be careful. So yeah, because I don't know. I just want to make people feel fucking safe, man. I mean, you know what I mean? So, Brian, going into what we've done this week, Nerd Week has been going pretty good this week. There's a lot of cool stuff that we're going to be talking about. First, we're going to be talking, of course, South Park, the episode that came out, Gen V, Loki Season 2, and we're going to be doing a Five Nights at Freddy's non-spoiler and spoiler review. Brian actually did his cool due diligence. I was super happy. And right before the show, he decided to sit down and actually watch Five Nights at Freddy's. And that made me happy just on its own. The result probably is going to vary, but like, I'm really excited that you sat down and watched it, man. That made me happy. I don't know why, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I can't wait.
Listen, I hope you still have the same energy when I.
Dude, I'm just happy you gave it a chance.
All right,
I'm just happy you gave it a chance. I'm just super happy you gave it a chance. I already
know. Everybody listening, you remember that.
Remember that when we get to the part, yeah, that I was happy he gave it a chance. But super excited. But Yeah, we'll get into our conversation already and get into this because, like I said before, we're trying a new format. We're going to try to break this down a little bit tighter and cleaner. We want everybody to interact and have fun with us and just enjoy ourselves and give you guys enough time to have a good night and stuff like that, not take you into the deep hours. So let's fucking get to it. Let's get to it. Boys and girls, our favorite, South Park, has released a tremendous episode that is shining like none other this week. I'm gonna let Brian talk about it, and of course, we'll get people in the comment sections because, like, a lot of people have been clamoring to watch this episode. It is called the Panderverse, right?
Yeah, something Pandaverse. Yeah.
You're gonna have to break this down to me. I haven't seen.
I don't want to kill it for anyone that hasn't seen it yet. But just think about anything in pop culture that has been talked about in like the last like few years. They attack it. I'm talking about from Disney to even Kathleen Kennedy to also they had a comment. They had a social commentary on the fact that if the AI takes over, right? If AI takes over, the people in this world that are going to be left with the job are the ones that are like handymen, and it's a very skill based people basically, and it's very funny on how they do that. Yeah, it's majority about like the multiverse and just how a lot of people don't agree with something that was okay the way that it is, and just to appeal to other groups, how that is kind of just stupid basically. And so they spend an entire 40, I think it was like a 48-minute episode, 48 minutes just talking about that. So it's funny as fuck. Like you have to have a sense of humor. It's funny as hell. I laughed at it. I thought it was funny. It had some really. It's in the one thing I do love about South Park, which I haven't watched an episode of South Park in years, but the one thing that they continuously do is they make it so that you can laugh, you can even be turned off, but there is a message in there. Like there is something to get, and they made sure that in this, they kept that on par. They didn't just go balls to the wall, just tripping out on Disney and everybody else. Like they had a message at the end of it. So yeah, I definitely, if you guys are into South Park, I would strongly suggest you guys watch this. Check this episode out because it's funny as fuck.
It's in the same satire of things that they've done before in the past, but like how far do these guys take the gloves off when it comes to like picking on like the Disney aspect and all the other stuff? Like how far do they really go?
They go about as far as you would think for South Park. They go pretty far. Far.
They go pretty fucking far.
They go pretty far. I think they could have went like, obviously there's room for them to have gone farther. But I think they had it right at the line where it's not going to turn a lot of people off. You know what I'm saying? So, I liked it. It was funny as fuck.
Nice. What was something that caught you that you wouldn't think that they would say or do? What's something that you're like, oh man, like,
see, that's the one thing about, there's something that's just one thing about South Park. And I think that's another thing that works into their favor is that, the gloves are always going to be off. So there's nothing that really catches you off guard. Like my sense of humor is very broad and dark. So nice. You're going to have to say some really wild shit for me to be like, oh shit, like that was some like
for it to really turn you off, right?
Like not even to turn me off, but just to catch me off guard. Like Dave Chappelle can do that. Dave Chappelle can push the limits to where I'm sitting there like, that's a little bit uncomfortable. Even if it's not aimed in my direction, it's just something, it could be uncomfortable. With South Park, it's like that they're gonna push it to
they're gonna push that envelope.
But they didn't like, as far as I was concerned, they didn't go like overly over the line. There's still going to be some people that are going to be upset about that episode, but I don't think it's that
bad. Worth it or not?
I think the people that the commentary on the AI, I think the people that there's going to be a lot more people that are going to be more, in my opinion, a lot more people that are going to be pissed off about the AI aspect of this, because a lot of people were bitching and complaining about AI and they kind of make fun of that. So I think a lot more people are going to feel kind of turned off about that aspect of
it.
Well,
was it like a good point? Like, do you feel like it was like something that they were making fun of that was like, oh shit, that's like right on the button?
Somewhat. Yeah.
Well, that's something I want to see, because I was one of those people that was talking about AI like crazy. So like, I wonder if I'm in that same format that they're making fun of. So I probably am.
It was one of those things. It was one of those things where they talked about. And no, Dave doesn't make me uncomfortable, but I feel uncomfortable for him. Chappelle, like I feel uncomfortable for him saying, because I don't want to get canceled. But in South Park, they were basically saying about how a lot of people were expecting to not be affected by AI and thinking that their job was safe. And I remember being in here and saying, like, if you think your job is safe from AI, you're probably wrong.
Well, yeah, you're probably wrong. Yeah,
you're probably.
I remember you talking about.
Yeah. I remember. Like, I don't care what you think or what you do for a living. If you think AI isn't going to bleed into your profession, 9 out of 10 times you're probably wrong. And it goes to show the people that, and these people like the handymen, it's so funny. There's a scene where like where like a Spanish guy that would normally be in front of Home Depot looking for work is actually he's actually the rich person. Pick it, you have because all of the handymen become super rich because the handymen are the only ones that are getting work in these universes, and so they become super fucking rich. Like they become like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. They become super fucking rich, and it's just like a commentary on what happens when the situation is reversed. And the Spanish guy in front of Home Depot, that part had me dying.
It was that good.
That part was funny as fuck. Yeah,
I gotta check it out, man. I wanted to see it today, but I just couldn't get around to seeing it. It's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
More than likely, I'm gonna have to fire stick it because it's
Paramount Plus has a week free trial. I meant to say.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have a week free trial where like I'm probably gonna
just cancel it.
I'm gonna cancel it probably tonight. But I only got it just so I could watch
just to see this episode.
There's nothing really much else on.
That kind of gets me to like I want to see the numbers when they pop off for this episode.
It's gonna be big.
Yeah, like I wonder if like Paramount all of a sudden sees like a whole new bunch of like new people coming in, and then they're like, "Yo, South Park, we need you to pump out more episodes. People love it. We need you to, put more money into it and shit like that." I wonder if it's gonna like, because like for people, like I've been hearing people talk about this shit for like weeks already. That South Park was gonna drop an episode that was gonna like roast the fuck out of Hollywood, roast the fuck out of Disney, and all this other stuff. Like I even heard that Disney's already planning on suing the shit out of them, and the guys from South Park were like,
I thought about that watching this. I thought about that watching this episode specifically for Kathleen Kennedy. I do see a world where she probably
tries to sue the shit out of them.
Yeah, I see that.
But that's the thing is like the guys, I forgot their fucking name, Trey Stone and something else like Parker or whatever, Trey Parker, right? They've been sued a million times.
Yeah.
And they even said it like, go ahead and sue us. We don't care. Like, what's going to be the worst? Like, we've already been sued a million times. Like, I'd understand, like, if it's your first time getting sued, but once it's 30th time, no one gives a shit. But, yeah, so highly recommended. Do you think people should take that free week or if they have it to check this episode out?
Yeah, it's a free week, so you might as well just,
take a chance.
Check it out. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Excellent. Guys, don't forget South Park Pandering episode. It's not out again.
And honestly, it's only like for the basic package, I think it's like $6 a month. So even if you get it and there's other things on it that you like, it's only like it's $6 a month. So it's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal.
Guys, go check it out. South Park, the Panderverse, highly recommended. Paramount Plus. If you're not, fire stick it like probably I will eventually, because I'll forget to fucking discontinue that shit. And yeah, go check it out. Most definitely. Onwards to the next conversation. You guys don't forget. I want to put this out there. If you like our podcast, make sure you like us, share, go to YouTube, go to all this stuff, go check us out. And then during the week, we usually release the episodes Sunday night going into the week. So that way you guys can check us out on all your podcasting programs and apps. Don't forget to check us out. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. Onwards to the next part. Brian, I got to ask, how are you feeling with the season for Gen V? The Prime show that's going on right now based on The Boys, the college about the superhero characters. What are we in episode 6 or episode 5? I think 6, right?
7. I think it's 7.
I'll check right now. But what do you think so far?
I'm liking it. It was a slow burn. I think I'm liking it just as much as The Boys as of right now. I think it quickly where they're at right now. I think they caught up to where The Boys is right now. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. This last episode was really good.
So right now it's episode 7. Thanks, Robert, in the comment section. Robert Flores, thank you very much. Biggie giving us a number. Checked it out. Episode 7 right now. Like you said, it was a slow burn at the beginning, but how are you feeling right now with the season? Talking about what's going on in the show, like how do you like the characters? How do you like the plot and all that stuff that's going on?
I like the plot. I like the plot more than I like some of the characters. My only problem with the characters is I kind of just want to have a definition of what their power sources are. Like I want to know exactly what they can and what they can't do. Like some of them you know, some of them you kind of know. But I kind of want to get an answer to that. Even though I will say in exchange for that, we did get more information about the school, the dean. We got a lot of information about a lot of people. And then the Vanessa, whatever the chick is that explodes people's heads, like she was really good in this episode.
The politician chick, right?
Yeah. She was really good in this episode. All around, I don't have anything bad to say about this episode. It was really, really good.
For me, this episode specifically, there were parts that it was very winded with like some of the, I guess, commentary. Like there's parts where they're like sitting down, it's kind of long winded with the script. I kind of feel like being that it's episode 7, like we need like to get the ball rolling with some of the action, I guess you could say a little bit more. I think that's the only thing I feel like that they kind of need, like a little bit more of the expression. Like the first episode when they had it to where Golden Boy or whatever his name is, that he's fighting and running around fighting Brandon or Jordan and fighting Maria Moreau, like when they're all fighting and stuff, like I kind of want more of that superhero like action, because there's a lot of the dramas being like pushed on right now, which it's not bad. The concept of what they're doing in the story where they're trying to create like this alternative to taking care of soups and introducing people from the original show, and the development of some of the characters has been going really good. But I do agree that they do need to kind of express what the superheroes' powers are. I believe we finally got to see some stuff what Andre can do, but like I really don't know. I've heard some people say that he controls metal, and then I've heard other people say that he's like a telekinetic. And then the thing with his father, like what do you think would happen to his father? Why do you like snap out like that? Do you think that was that politician chick?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, right? Like I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And I know that she has like, see, like that's the thing. I thought that chick had telekinetic powers also. Right? Like the Vanessa chick, the politician lady.
I've never saw that.
Well, like, so from the series, The Boys, the exploding of the heads and all that stuff, it makes it like it's almost like telekinesis. Like she doesn't have to touch them, but she ends up having like a blood power. Like
it's a blood power. That's not telekinesis. That's just like she can manipulate the blood and
the blood and stuff. But that's the thing. Like I always thought from The Boys season when she came out in it that she had like a telekinesis power, because they never explained that about her power set.
Oh, okay.
Like we got that in this episode where she's like, "Yo, I do the same thing."
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, okay, fucking, I get it now." Like, all right, now it makes sense. Like, where she's not just using her brain to like fucking move things or whatever. Like she's using blood and all that other stuff. I think that's a really interesting power, dude. Like the blood power itself. I think that's so fucking cool. Overall, I think the episodes are going really well. This episode when Andre, I think he's sitting down with like, I want to say Kate in the house that they're waiting for the lady Indira. Mm-hmm. When they're waiting in her house, that they're kind of like talking right before his dad comes in television. Like I was kind of like, I found myself fast forwarding it. Like it was kind of like just a lot of wind. I didn't really like care to hear what they're going to talk about. Like where I found myself wanting to know more was like what they were going to do with Sam's character. Like Sam's character in his situation going to like, being that he was supposed to stay in the room and then he ended up going to like some fucking political meeting where it was supposed to be a party. Like I'm kind of interested in where they're going to take his character next. Where do you find yourself like involved in this series? Like, where do you find yourself like, okay, like I like this part of the story?
I like the whole story.
Overall,
I don't think I can pick out one part. Like, I think it's all interesting. I don't know how you were able to fast forward through any of this episode. Like,
yeah.
I don't think there was a part of this episode where you could have missed it. Like, I think everything served a purpose in this episode. I think that everyone did a great job acting. The chick that plays the Moreau chick, she's really, really growing on me. I said it last week, but she's doing a really fucking good job.
Yeah.
I think everyone's doing a good job at this point. So yeah, I mean,
so right now, would you say that Maria Moreau is like your standout character right now?
My standout character? I don't know if I have a standout character. I think they're all decent.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have some really good moments.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't think that there's anyone that's standing out to me though.
Okay. For me, I feel like the Kate character had a really good shining episode. This one, like I think, like in the last 2 episodes, they've really brought her character to fruition. Like with her dealing with her powers and being overused and fucking over for friends, she did pretty well with Kate's character. But yeah, I think you're right. Like everybody's kind of done their job and done very well with it. Very pleased with the show in general, man. Super, super good show, guys. If you haven't seen it, make sure check out Gen V. Totally worth it. Amazon Prime. They're into 7 episodes. If you dug The Boys, if you really liked it, go check it out. I would highly recommend it. Just a fun overall series. How many more episodes do we got to this series?
It's only one more.
One more episode? Oh man. But good thing is they've already been greenlit for season 2. Season 2.
Man, they have.
Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. Okay. Brian, onward to the next part of the conversation. Speaking of series, going into the next series that we were talking about earlier. Loki, season 2, episode 4, recap time, Marvel Talks. Brian, how did you like it?
Why don't you go first? You go first. How did you like it?
I'm going to go first. I am kind of getting frustrated with this show.
Why is that?
We are, how many episodes is this supposed to be? One more episode also for this, right?
I think so, yeah.
We finally got the full.
No, this is only episode 4. Right?
Oh, it's 6 episodes, right? Yeah, so we got 2 episodes left. 2 episodes left. We finally got the whole Ouroboros concept. All of the main points of the series all led up to a point where first episode got recapped. Recap. All of these characters are finding their full circles. And I still feel like I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, I understand.
What are you confused about?
Well, like, okay, the time loom.
Mm-hmm.
It's destroying branches and it cannot handle this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then what's supposed to happen if the time loom doesn't work? Like, what is
to find out?
Yeah, like what? But like
the next episode is literally about to answer your question.
But that would be the purpose, right? The idea would be, because they've told us what it is from what they said. They said it destroys existence in general. Like it destroys the overarching thing.
No, I think it's just gonna reset. The time loom. The time loom is to keep things in order and nice and neat.
But reset to
without it to whatever it was before the time, whatever it was before the time loom. I guess the TVA people go back to being who the fuck they were before the TVA. Everything gets reset. I think that's what's gonna happen. Everything gets reset.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that might be a thing. I get the factor that the story was showing us that they were stuck in like a time loop, or like they needed to reset time and everything found its way back to the original position and all that stuff. We're 4 episodes in, and now we're to the part of the story that's actually like going to tell us a real story. Right? Because all of this other stuff was just leading up to where we're supposed to get episode 4. So like it really doesn't make, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, it's just like all that shit that they did from episode 1 through episode 4 was throwaway.
Okay.
Like, what did we get out of it? Like, what did we get out of episode 1 through 4? Like, technically, what did we get? Like those people that got crushed by Ramona Renslayer. Like, what did those people matter? Like that one Xanadar or whatever is it? Like, what does he matter? Like it doesn't, like, none of this stuff really like has an overarching effect because it was all lost in this time loom that gets destroyed anyways. You know what I mean? Like all of it was told to us how it all breaks off in the very beginning.
I think again, maybe it's just me. I think everything has its purpose. I do think that scene where her Miss Minutes, because that's what it is. It's about, you got to see just how evil Miss Minutes was. Like that whole scene wasn't really about for you to understand these people or whatever. Actually, it was like it showed that you know, these two opposing sides could easily come together and get something done, but because this one side is just pure dickheads, the other side's like, yeah, nah, we're not gonna do that. We were like, I'd rather die. Like she literally said, like, how does it make you feel knowing that I'd rather die than to join you? That to me was pretty fucking powerful. And then watching watching Miss Minutes be the one to fucking actually go through this, just to show how evil she is. And Ravonna not even first off, she didn't bat an eye. She didn't bat an eye. She didn't stop Miss Minutes, nothing.
Yeah, you saw that guy like struggling to kind of like, you know, like fathom
that whole scene. Right? That whole scene to me was one of the better scenes. Like for you to not get anything from that scene, that's wild to me. Like that was one of the better scenes of the episode.
It's an exciting scene. I'm not saying that those scenes don't have effect in those moments. Like I thought that was cool. Like it showed the passion of the lady, the general chick. It showed how she was willing to die on her shield. You know, Officer 115 or whatever her name is went in there before, kind of came to like some type of agreement. But like after that, Miss Minutes gets rebooted back to nothing, and Renslayer gets fucking pruned. And it's kind of like, well, what was all that for? Fucking, I mean, dude, right out of the fucking button, Victor Timely gets fucking spaghettiized. And it just leaves everybody like, I mean, I guarantee more, hopefully there's a good reveal in the next aspect, right? The next episode.
But so you didn't like anything about this episode?
I know I liked all the visuals, like the cinematography, like the emotional content to some of the characters acting their roles. Like I like that. I just don't quite know what all of this is about yet, because we know that, okay, breaking it down, what we're supposed to know about the MCU. Battle World, Deadpool messing with the TVA. Also, TVA is supposed to be a part of it. New characters, maybe Morbius, but Loki, no. Loki's supposed to be in the next Thor movie because they're supposed to run into each other again, the two brothers, even though they're not from the same universe. But like these 4 episodes, once you kind of destroy everybody right now, and you kind of make it to where, like, yeah, the time loom's about to explode. There's like high stakes, leaving on a cliffhanger that everything is destroyed. The 4 episodes are useless because it really doesn't do anything for us. Even the concept of Victor's Timely character, when he was supposed to kind of go out and do like his thing, he just gets like killed super fast.
What isn't it doing for you though? I think that's what's confused me. I'm confused as to what it's not do. Like, is it because, are you confused as to what's going on? Are you not following what's going on? What is it?
No, like just in general, like story wise, like the 4 episodes that they've given us are useless.
Okay,
like they could have started the episode from 4th episode and then give us a consistent story that's like a big story to build on.
It's literally piggybacking off of the first season, though.
Well, but the first season gave us a coherent story. Like it gave us a pretty good story where right now 4 episodes in, and now we're getting to the 4th episode that's going to give us like the actual story of like, okay, we're fixing the time loom. If we don't fix it, explosion. Now we're going into the next part.
How are they going to be able to fix it if you didn't know why it was fucked up in the first place? It wasn't fucked up at the end of the first season. It was fucked up in the beginning of the second season. Yeah, so we had to build up to get to this place.
Yeah, because not Victor Timely, but the man who remains is the person who kept the time stream working, right? He was.
How would you? So you would have rather them just skip the the
4 episodes.
The 4
episodes. I would have cut it down to like 2 episodes.
So then, how would you explain on the time loom being fucked up?
Well, you break it down into 2 episodes. Like the time loom, literally, like you could explain that in a correlation. You show it at the ending, or they already showed it at the ending of the last season. They showed the timeline. They showed everything coming together. You kill the one who remains. Everything goes crazy in Hogwire. I just think them doing 4 episodes of them giving us a Victor Timely that ends up just getting demolished in like 5 seconds when the actual thing that he's needed for comes to fruition. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that wait. I have to adjust him because I can't continue this any longer. Are you saying fruition?
Like
fruition, yeah, like everything that's coming to fruition.
Fruition, is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's fruition. Like fruition. There's no L.
Yeah, I know.
Well, okay. I was, you kept saying it. I'm like, damn. Do I ask him?
I have a list, dude.
Fruition. Okay, my fault. Okay.
Well, like, but the thing is like, okay, the reveal, the big reveal, 4 episodes in. I think that the 4 episodes they could have done it like 2 episodes. They could have introduced us to Victor Timely, the going around stuff, the Ramona Renslayer story. It was all just a thing to show us like, okay, Loki pruned himself and Sylvie was going up the elevator because she was looking for him. And then he prunes himself, makes sense back then. All of it kind of like comes to like the point of like when we're introduced to the story. I think that just took too long. I think it just took too long.
Listen, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bro. You're out of your fucking mind because in this next segment, you're going to tell me about how something that was not even close to being as good as any of these 4 episodes was good. So what I'm going to say is I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This season has been fucking amazing, bro. Like, I don't think it's better than the first season.
Yeah, I don't think
so. The first 4 episodes have been fucking great. And
what is okay?
And then at the end, and then I let you go, bro. It's my time. So so at the end, when fucking Victor Timely gets fucking shredded, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, that alone deserved for this episode, because like, who saw that shit coming? Who saw them not winning? They even gave you like the superhero music to where, he was being the savior of the day and he was gonna fucking, get the shit done. And now he's dead. He's dead. He's not even like in a different dimension or nothing like that. He's fucking dead. Victor Timely is dead, bro. So I was like, wow, they really had the balls to fucking do that shit. And everything, the acting has been fucking great. The only person that I don't really give a shit about this season that I did last season was Sylvie. Like, I don't know why she's even like, there's something off about her this season, but everything else is fucking amazing. And I think that and I totally disagree with you about the first 4 episodes. I totally think we need those first 4 episodes to explain where we're at right now. You can't.
But where are we at? Like, what did those 4 episodes do that explain where we're at?
Explain
other than Victor Timely.
I've been telling you, explain what the time. Did you know what the time? You can't just go from the end of season 1 into the time loom being fucked up.
But it did.
It explained to you why it's fucked up. It explains to you where the time loom even came from. It explains everything. Like, I don't know what you think what you're not getting from those first 4 episodes. I'm confused with that. I totally disagree with you.
Well, the time loom wasn't created by Victor Timely. It was created by the one who remains, who in plan sent his book back for this guy to create the.
Did you know that? And how would you know that?
With this episode, which I didn't even need, because the guy who made it like already set all of this stuff into fruition. Like, without anybody's help, it was going to happen anyways.
But you needed to know that because of the first 4 episodes. That's the only way you know that, right?
No, because we know that he made the thing because he was sitting at the end of time. It's all Kang's creation. Okay, look, watch. I'll even give it to you this much. Why do I need for this story to tell me that Kang by himself sucks and he needed Ramona Renslayer to do it for him? Why do I need that? Like, what does that take from Kang's character that we've known about all this time? That it wasn't him. That it wasn't him who won the war. Okay. He didn't do shit. And the only reason why he won is because Ramona Renslayer won it for him. Like, he himself being the ultimate genius, master of time, master of everything, was a fucking fluke without Ramona Renslayer. Why did I need that? Like being that he's the big bad for the next series. And now they're telling us, well, it's not really him, bro. It's Obi who wrote the book. And it's Ramona Renslayer who did it. Like, he didn't really do anything.
It's Ramona Renslayer. And honestly, honestly, I think she is going to be playing a bigger part in all of this. So I think you have to have her. Like that, like the story needs to be told. Listen, I'm not looking forward down the line to Thor or to Deadpool. I'll get to that when I get to that. Yeah, I'm just enjoying what I have right now.
Right now.
And I'm not going to take away from the performances that are being done.
True.
Dude, this is the best Disney Plus shit we've gotten in a very long time. So to like just overlook that, I think that's wild to me. Like, this is some good shit. And this is what everyone's been bitching and moaning about. And we're getting it. And I'm not going to overlook that. I think that this is, I think is really good. I'm looking at the Rotten Tomatoes. There's a lot of people that agree with me. And I just think that this is what was needed. I think the first 4 episodes put us right where we need to be. I don't feel like they're gonna have to rush these next 2 episodes, because if what I'm saying is true and everything just gets reset, they can take as much time as they want, because now everything's fucking reset.
But reset to what though?
Like just know. Before, we still have 2 episodes. I can't theorize. Like, we have to watch the next 2 episodes. Now, if we get to episode 6 and we're done with that and nothing gets done, or none of these questions that you have gets answered, which I'm almost positive the questions that you have that you're confused about, they'll get answered. Once they do get answered, and if they don't get answered, then we'll come back and revisit this. But as where we are right now, I think they're not gonna.
Like I said, like, I don't have any problem with the way the show is going and the way it looks and the way the actors are pulling the thing off. I think my thing is just like the time loop and stuff. It just, to me, I think it was unnecessary to go in that direction. If people are digging it, I mean, that's cool. Like, that's on them. Like, I just personally, I don't know how and why it all comes to fruition later. That's it. That's literally what I mean. Like, I don't know what the.
Why don't you wait and
for the next 2 episodes?
For the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, at least the next episode. Because the thing is like, okay, the over-existing arching problem happened. So then where do they go from there, right? I guess that's what it was. Maybe I was expecting for them to beat it and win. This could
have been easily. This episode could have been a season finale. Easily.
And there was a lot of people that did think it was a season finale.
And they gave that to in episode 4. They're doing a great job. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They're doing a great job.
Okay. Okay, so rating-wise, what would you rate this episode?
I would give this episode, personally, I'd probably give like an 8.5 to a 9, probably.
Okay. For me, I'm probably going to give it closer to a 7. This is my opinion. I'm just going to give it to a 7. The reason why is...
Yo, you can't keep doing that, yo. You can't keep trashing something and giving it a 7. That's still good.
Yeah, I know it's good. I didn't say anything that the show is bad cast-wise, production-wise. I'm saying that there's a part of the story that I'm just thinking that...
You went on at least 20 minutes and didn't say one positive thing about the show. Nothing.
Oh, yeah, but I'm talking about the thing that I did not like. That doesn't mean I didn't like the whole show.
You can't give it a 7 and go on a... You can't go on a tirade. Listen,
Brian,
you can't give it a 7.
All I'm saying is...
No, you can't give it a 7 and go on a long tirade about things you don't like and don't say anything that you do like about it. How does that even happen?
The only thing, again, that I'm saying that I don't agree with is just that I think the first 4 episodes, in the sense of what they told us for the story, could have been condensed. And then establish more of whatever it is that they're going to come to fruition after the big reveal that just happened. I'm not saying the show is a shit show. It's not Ahsoka.
All right, so then what do you like about it? So then what do you like about the show?
What do I like about it? The characters are great. Fucking Jonathan Majors did an amazing job pulling off another variation of a character he's going to play 19 different variational times. The turn of Miss Minutes has been kind of comical to me and funny at the same time, because I think that was like, Marvel's, kind of like being a little comical, making the AI this like really like out of context fucking like I love you like crazy character. I thought that was really funny. And then the remarks and comebacks from the way Victor Timely is, the connection between Renslayer, Miss Minutes and Jonathan Major's character, when they all see each other again, the way he kind of correlates with them. The Xantar guy, I'm kind of about. I did like the speech and coming together of the characters from the TVA in the prison cell. I thought that the killing part with that weird guy in it, like coming to it, was pretty cool. I think that it needed some stakes that were like that, but in the process of it, like just the typical stuff. I'm not really digging Sylvie's character too much. I think she's kind of just like thrown in the mix. I don't understand how she can hate it, but then she shows up every 5 minutes. Tom Hiddleston's character, Tom Hiddleston does an amazing job as Loki in general. Mobius's character is pretty cool, and I like the fact that they're kind of doing a dissection of his character at the same time, where they're making it feel like even though he's like a hardcore TVA agent, he has this like, there's that desire to want to know about his history. I dig that. And yeah, like, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's a cool show. Like,
and all those things you just liked about it came in the first 4 episodes. Thank you guys. I win.
That doesn't mean anything. That's just a show in general, dude. That's just the show in general. What did he say, Chris? You crapped on Batman and gave it a 7 as well.
I just need to know how you're scaling these shows, because like you'll shit on something, but then you'll still give it like a 7.5 or 8, and I'm like, wait, how does that even make sense?
Because I understand that it takes skill to make films, and I'm not gonna be like, let me give it a 3. You know what I mean? No, I'm not gonna do that. I know it's still an art piece. I'm not gonna. It's just my opinion. Like, it's just my opinion. Do I like Marvel? Yes. Do I like where we're at in Marvel history? Yes. Do I like the show more than Ahsoka? Fuck yes.
What I'm saying is if you were to take just the bite of you explaining it without saying that you liked it, no one would think that you liked the show.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what giving an opinion is all about. I'm not gonna try to. I want to give my review on it in the sense of like the talking points that everybody's already telling about is how amazing this show is, and I get that. I know it's cool.
That. You're like fuck that.
Yeah,
fuck that.
I already know what people are saying about it. The colors are pretty. The fucking the shots are cool. Tom Hiddleston's handsome or whatever. Like, I get all that shit.
Yeah,
but I'm trying to say, like, I really think because of the way and the blueprint that they've been going on, Marvel could have done better with condensing that part of the show. I mean, does it make sense? Sure. Like, we still have to see it all come to fruition. I'm sorry. We have to see it all come to terms in
or together. You could just say together if
together
if how it comes together.
Is that the thesaurus? Is that the thesaurus?
I'm giving you options here.
Yeah. I need options. The thing is it leaves on a very big cliffhanger. I had people hitting me up that were like, was that the season finale? And I was like, no. And they were like, great, because I'm still confused. People are still confused watching this. We may not be confused because we understand the whole, like, universal thing, multi-travel, multi-this, multi-that. What if someone had never seen Loki 1 and they're barely getting into Loki 2? Like, how would you think that they would take this show?
If you never saw Loki 1 and you're watching Loki season 2, you're supposed to be confused.
Okay, I'll even tell you what. I'll even give you a better example. My roommate Christella, yeah. She still doesn't know what's going on in the show. She doesn't get it.
Okay.
She doesn't get it. And I try to explain it to her.
She saw season 1,
watching
right?
it. Yeah, she's watching it. She's like on episode. She hasn't seen this episode because she watches it on the iPad. So she doesn't have time for it.
But she watched season 1 though.
Season 1. Okay. Season 1. And she's just like, I just kind of don't get it. Like, it's cool, but I don't get it. So when I see that, I'm kind of like, okay, Christella's situation is she, CC builds. She sees it from just your everyday watcher. Yeah. And that's kind of where I look at it. When I watch movies and then she watches them, I automatically want to hear what she has to say.
Yeah.
Because that's where I take, like, just the everyday person, like the person that's not a weird nerd like me.
Yeah.
And right now in her situation, and she's kind of like, I like it, but it's just confusing.
Yeah.
So we sit there and we discuss and we try to break it down. And it's usually the same thing. Like, she'll be like, well, why did this person do that? And I'll be like, oh, it sets up to the overarching, plot or whatnot. That it'll kind of like
you're answering your own. I think personally, I think you're answering your own question. If she's not super into it and just watching it, just to be entertained, that's
kind of what it is.
Then what is it?
She's just watching it to be entertained.
I said she's watching it to be entertained, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I don't know. That's what she said. But yeah, that's her point. She's watching it to be entertained.
If she's watching it to be entertained and she's not really like that into it, then that's not out of the realm of a possibility that she may be confused. Like that's I get that.
Yeah. So and that's kind of like my thing where I think like maybe my only gripe, which is what we're talking about, is that the story could have been just a little bit more digestible, I guess you could say, because the time travel thing is always a hard thing to sell. You
think hold on. You think that the reason why Priscilla doesn't understand is because it's too drawn out? You think that if it was condensed more,
like a couple of
it would be maybe easier for her to follow?
Yeah,
I think she this is so convoluted. The first 4 episodes, I think that she would have had a harder time following along personally.
What do you mean? Like if it's 4 episodes, you think she is confused?
No, what I'm saying is that I think I don't know. I would think that if it was condensed, if she's confused with the 4 episodes, I think if you condense it to 2 episodes, I think she would probably just as confused though. No,
I mean it probably. I don't know because it's not in that format. That's my thing right now. My opinion is, I think it's a little too drawn out.
Okay,
you could have done it into 3 episodes, maybe 2, 3.
Yeah, I don't know the where you were going with the people not understanding. Like that part, I don't get.
It's okay. I mean, it's like I said, it's just my opinion. It's my opinion on what I see. That
I get what you mean. Like if you think that it's too long, it's a little bit too drawn out. I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that. But
other than that, like that's why I'm not giving it like a 5 or 4. Like the thing is like the big reveal happens 4 episodes in, we get 2 episodes left. Like they could still do some good stuff. We've seen them do it before. Could they have done it in 3 episodes? Maybe make the 3rd episode the pinnacle of this, and then 3 episodes to break down what's going to happen next. Maybe that could have worked too. So far, that's been my only thing. Is I think the first 4 episodes to whatever we got as the reveal could be confusing to people that aren't like big on the multiverse and universe and jumping around and like the shots. I'm not saying that it's not badass. I think the whole like the meta concept of like 1st episode to 4th episode tying into each other in a big loop, I think those are real cool. Like
I'm a fan, right? If I'm a fan and I'm watching it, I don't care about that. Like I'm not watching this thinking, oh, there's a lot of people that aren't going to get this. Like I get it. Like I'm understanding it. Like I've never concerned myself with that. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, it's just me. I'm just saying like where I think people might get confused. Like in the sense of storytelling. But like I said, like I don't think it's a bad show. Ahsoka was a bad show. That one I gave like a 6. Like you know what I mean? Like,
shut up. You were averaging like a 7.58 on that too. Shut up.
No way.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were.
There's no.
Yeah,
way.
you were. Yeah, you were, dude.
Ahsoka yes, you were. Bad.
You did not give not 1 episode of Ahsoka a 6. Never. That's never happened. Positive. Never.
Because I hated episode 3.
You never. That's why I'm trying to follow your scale here. Like you're all over the place.
I could have sworn I gave it a worse episode. Negative. Well, the thing is, Ahsoka I didn't like at all. Like at the very end of it, I was just like, I was done. I mean, we even had to cut the conversation short on how bad it was. Like on 1 episode, I think episode 5 or something, the second to the last, I was already done. What? Yeah, like, well, the thing is it's like, it's still Star Wars. Like as a Rebels show, it's okay. As a live action, it sucked. Live action, it sucked. If it was a Rebels cartoon, like it would have made more sense. Like that's on my opinion on that show. But like Jeremy was one of them. He hit me up and he was like, bro, was that the season fucking finale of Loki? And I was like, no, that wasn't. He was like, I don't know if it, Jeremy, you'd have to put in the comment section, but were you confused at this story for Loki season 2? Like, what's your take on it? Because I want to know, because I know that he was one of the people that I saw in comments that put it up too, that he was like, wow, that was a shit show. So I'd like to hear your comment, but yeah, that's my take on it. I guess I'm not hating on Loki yet. I'd have to see into the next episode. Once it, dude, over the pinnacle of the problem where it goes into from here on out, if they fucking drop the ball, I'm gonna call them on it, and I'm gonna be like, this fucking show's stupid.
Listen, you basically said that right now. But I mean, if you want to, we can get into something that I think is
we're gonna get right into the fucking other part. Yeah, I need to give this time. So we're gonna try to cancel. We're gonna try to bring this down to 10:30, maybe a little bit 10:35 or whatever. But Brian, we're gonna jump right into this. Non-spoilers. We are jumping into our next part of the conversation, which is the big talks. Five Nights at Freddy finally got its release on both movie, film, and Peacock series. I got to watch it, dropped the ticket money, got to go watch it, paid for two. Me and my friends got to go watch it, got to go see it with Biggie, Rob, and Christella also. Brian, you got to see it today in the comfort of your own home.
I did.
Chilling. For me, Five Nights at Freddy's coming to fruition is really, really great because I've been a fan of the series for a long time. I had the opportunity to work on a project basing it around, being involved with the actual franchise. And one of our friends, our good personal friends, now had the opportunity from that project to get a job working with the actual company and making films and video game and all that stuff. Really, really proud of him. Shout out to Atreyu, man. Good shit. We're all excited. It's been 8 years in the making. Warner Brothers had it, dropped the ball, created Banana and Friends. Another company picked it up. They failed. Willy's Wonderland or whatever. Now we have Five Nights at Freddy's. As a fan, I enjoyed the fuck out of this film. Like, as a person who watches film and horror and stuff like that, this isn't a masterpiece. This isn't even an idea of it being like a Saw or a fucking Halloween or whatever. Five Nights at Freddy has always been its own thing. It's kind of hard.
How close is this to the game?
Characters have been switched around, but the overarching story is there. Kids, they possess animatronics. They were all killed by a serial killer, and for him to not get busted, he put the bodies of the children into the machines. That's kind of the overarching story. What then happens is his kids get killed by his creations, which drive him into being a fucking maniac. That's where it changes, right? This story, I feel, is Scott Kaufman, which is the guy who created the story. His way of making it digestible without the books, which don't have any correlation to the game, and the game not having correlation to anything else except itself, for it to all be digestible for just the everyday goer. He had to make it more of like a slasher style, but all the other elements don't help it. My biggest thing is I would tell people this is like a Goosebumps movie because Five Nights at Freddy's is technically the new Goosebumps for this generation. It's Scholastic Books that makes the stories, like they sell it at, your kids' libraries. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not gore. It's not, there's not a lot of vulgarity to it when it comes to violence. It's all just implemented on the fact that it's jump scares and, jump scares from a video game. So with that, like, live action wise, do I think it's a great horror film? No, it's still trying to find itself. But in the aspect of me being a fan and seeing it all come together and all the characters come on TV, like, and seeing what Kaufman's kind of trying to produce, I thought it was cool. I thought it was good. But Brian, what about you, man? This is,
that's all you got?
For right now, yeah, we'll break into it. I mean,
you were on the internet going at people that had something to say about this movie, bro. And I would have thought you'd had a little bit more excitement in your voice for this fucking movie, bro.
Well, we're doing non-spoilers. We'll get into spoilers in a bit, and I'll start talking about it more.
Gotta spoil anything? All right. Well, listen, I gave it a shot. It wasn't for me. I said it to you offline. I think, again, as a person that hasn't played the game, so I don't know what to expect.
Yeah,
but I think this would have served better if this was a rated R horror movie, personally. I think a little bit more adult, like killings or, things of that nature would have been more my taste. I think this would have been a way better movie. It would have served better for me, in my opinion. But for like the first like 30 minutes, it was cool. The story was cool for like the first 30, 40 minutes. But then somewhere around the middle, it just dropped and I'm lost and I don't. Why didn't they just kill the little girl right away?
No spoilers yet. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Anyway, there were some things I was confused about. The time frame of the movie, like the time setting was a little bit confusing too.
Like the era? Like you're talking about like the era? Okay.
Yeah. That was a little bit confusing. I didn't expect that. They could have did a better job explaining that. There was just a lot of things. It was just a lot of things that didn't make sense. And then again, it didn't have enough of one thing for me to gravitate to. It didn't have enough horror. It didn't have enough good acting. It didn't have enough I don't know, funny scenes. It didn't have enough of one. If you just gave me one thing, like one thing that I could have gravitated to, I'd have been like, you know what, it is what it is. It's a decent film. But okay. I was just lost, to be honest with you, in the whole movie.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I mean, a lot of us fans, like I said before, the lore is very Reddit heavy, I guess you could say. The lore is created by the fans, and
you don't even get to know the whole lore and the story until like the last like 20 minutes of the movie.
Which, mind you, is not the same lore from the books nor the game.
I'm sitting there like, yo, bro, are we gonna find out what's going on? He's been asking people for like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Is someone gonna answer
answers? Yeah, someone gonna answer? Give him answers.
Like, I was extremely I don't want to say disappointed because again, I didn't have much to.
Yeah, you didn't go in with like high expectations.
But I'm just sitting here like, bro, like you. All right.
So like I said, the ending of the story and most of that stuff, like there's more of like scenes that give credit to the story in the game rather than the script and the story itself, if that makes sense. There's like scenes, right? Which is like the ending scene where all the things meet up and they're pulling someone, like that is literally almost page by page from the video game itself. The drawing stuff, that's from the books, the Galactics books themselves. What's up, Mark? Chu and
what up, brother?
In the house, man.
Happy belated birthday too,
happy belated,
sir. Happy belated birthday.
Happy belated, man.
Good show yesterday.
Yeah, I hope you had a good day. Hope you had a good birthday. Hope you had a good birthday for sure.
He said he's taking his son to see it. Would you take your younger child to see that movie?
If they were like 7 and below, maybe not. Okay. Or maybe like 5 and below, like too small. Because like it still has some, imagery that could kind of scare them or whatever. But like, I mean, it's a casual video game for kids that are like 9 to like 14. I mean, in fact, like most of the people that probably were in the theater with most of the people that went, that were like teenage to college, most of those probably played the first game. Like most of them probably were a part of it. This is like a 13-year-old franchise, like 12 to 13 years. Like there's a lot of people that are embedded in it that have been waiting for this story for so long. So like it's for children, I'd kind of be, who I was talking to? I was talking to Michael Betancourt about that. And he was saying that he feels like his son might be a little too young to go watch it.
How old is his son?
I think he said like 5. Well, I don't even know. Man.
Oh yeah,
maybe
5
like
is way too young for that movie.
Like 7 or 8. He'd have to maybe in the comments.
I think honestly, I think that PG-13 is probably the strongest PG-13 I've seen in a while. I don't think
like edgy then.
I don't think you should take your child unless they're 13 and over.
Okay, so you feel like it's edging on the
and I think that's what kind of pisses me off. Is like you guys were like right there, like you guys were like right there. Like you guys could have just gave me an R. Like you could have just went over the line, made it a
okay,
rated R.
Let me ask you then. By chance, okay, so this first movie, it's already out. If they end up going into a part 2.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, "Hey guys, guess what? Rated R." Would you be more? Would you really be about it? You'd be a little bit more about it.
I'm all for it because then that allows them to give me more horror. That allows them to give me, like I said, if they would have just given me a little bit more horror, I think I'd have been fine with this. But again, they just didn't give me enough of something for me to gravitate towards. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So,
I mean, that makes
sense. They were dancing the line, though. They were fucking dancing the line. Don't get me wrong. They were dancing the line. I wish they would have just went over the fucking line. Is what I'm saying. If you're already there.
So what we want to do now, guys, we only have a little bit more time left. I want to jump into spoiler talks. If you have questions, if you've seen the film, like this is going to be our opportunity to jump in on it. Brian, I know you probably have some questions. I want to try to attack those as best as I can to at least make it more digestible for you. And if you're in the comment section and if you've seen it or if you haven't seen it and you have questions on what you guys think, you're really looking forward to, please jump in and please join us and please ask questions. And, me, myself, I'm really excited about it. So I'm really excited that you're all a part of this. So, yeah, let's go ahead and jump into some spoilers talk. Brian,
sir,
spoilers wise, what was something that you liked? And then there's a lot of parts you probably didn't like, but like you said, like, what was something that you did like about the film? Like, what was something that you were
opening,
like, oh, this was badass?
The opening scene gave me hope for this movie. Like that opening scene, it was kind of like, I don't know, almost like a Saw thing.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
I was, when I saw the opening scene, I was like, holy shit. Like
just the
I might have to come in tonight and say I was completely wrong, but they let me down. But the opening scene was really good.
Animatronics, what do you think about the props, dude? Those were Jim Henson, dude.
The animatronics were pretty good. I'm not gonna haggle them about that. The acting was shit, though. The acting on everybody.
Really? You didn't like any acting?
Everybody was
I didn't really like the Abby character too much, but she'll probably grow on us later, maybe like in another film. But she was kind of like a little too on the nose about shit.
Didn't like anyone's acting in this movie. The plot was predictable as fuck, but then that is the Goosebumps thing. Like it's not supposed to be like a mystery thriller or whatever. So
Scooby-Doo-ish, right?
I'll give them leeway on that. It was definitely Scooby-Doo-ish. I found out, I knew who it was and what the angle was way before, which I think kind of pissed me off because it's like the guy's asking questions when I could have just told him, dude, I don't even know. Like I could tell you what the fuck is going on, but no one here is telling you we don't know the story until it's like 20 minutes left of the movie.
I really think they should have kept
a 2-hour movie. It's a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, it was 2 hours. Yeah,
it's a 2-hour movie. Like you waited until like the last 20-25 minutes
to really bring this guy in
to bring it around to where we're all in the loop and what's going on and how.
Do you feel like that was kind of like a letdown that they should have brought him in very like Saw-ish, like where they show like his hands doing stuff and then like a character come in and talk to him like the Vanny thing and all that stuff, like where she's like associated in some way? Like, do you think they should have had like the maniacal villain doing some like treacherous shit like behind the scenes and then like real Inspector Gadget, Dr. Claw shit like in between? Or do you think it was better that they like only revealed him at the end? Like I didn't even like that either, man. That's what I
knew it was him.
Yeah, because like you're kind of expecting it and you're wanting like no, thank you, Mark. I understand, bro. I don't want to ruin the movie for you, dude. But thank you so much for still sticking with us, bud. Like there was a scene like when Mike's character goes back and does the dream scene the second time to go make the deal or whatnot, and he's trying to make the escape and he's getting attacked and then Vanny saves him or whatever. There was a part of me that wanted the Golden Bonnie character to be the Foxy character instead, to be the one at the end of the hallway that gets the reveal. And that's the thing that chases him, and then he makes his escape out the exit. And then you're kind of like, what the fuck was that? Like, I had never seen that character before. You know what I mean? Like, he hadn't been introduced. You know what I mean? There's a part of me that would have rather wanted that as the entry point for, like, the big, like, there was another animatronic I had never seen. Vanny, give me pointers. What the fuck was that? And then her act confused or, like, that she doesn't know that information. And then, I kind of feel like that would have been a cool intro because then later on when he reveals himself and then he shoots him and then you realize like there's a fucking human being in it. You're like, holy fuck, this is, that's cool. That's cool. There are certain parts that were like the nitpicking parts, right? Like I can get where you're saying I would have wanted it to be a straight up horror film.
Because then at that point, if it's a straight up horror movie, I don't give a fuck about the plot.
Yeah, you're like, fuck.
I don't give a fuck about the plot. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about the acting. Because 9 out of 10 horror movies, the acting is trash, the plots are trash.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's some horror, if it's some straight up horror shit,
I mean, there's some people still out there fucking coming up to bat for like Scream 8 and 12 and fucking Saw 10. And there's no way you're going to tell me that this being like a fresh breath air with something different can't be good. Like, can't be something that's like, hey, dude, you're still saying Chucky, the series, is a million times cool. And then this thing comes up with a fresh idea and you're saying like, nah, fuck that. It's complete garbage. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be like, hey, well, you know what? It's not that bad. You know,
but you're saying that there's no way that they could make it totally horror.
Because no. What I'm saying is Scott Kaufman, he made this game as a latch dish effort to try to hit it in the video game world.
Okay.
This guy has a lot of strong religious background values. And he didn't want this series to do that good. He didn't know it was going to do that good. He literally just threw a bunch of shit out there, and this is what caught. So then when it started making money, he was like, okay, I'll make a part 2. Okay, part 3. And then it got to the point where it was like serial killers killing children, stuffing kids in boxes. And then he was kind of like, hey, you know what? Like, I don't know if I want to keep on going with this, but I understand I've already created this like movement. And I can't just be like, hey, guys, I'm going to stop because fuck you. That's why. So he kept going on with it and kept it going. But like, there's a part of me that feels like him as a human being and his moral stature is like, well, I want to make it for kids. I don't want to make it rated R because that's not my point. That's kind of, and I'm like, but damn, dude, that's,
well, what you know what? Like, are you making this for?
But that's what I'm going to say. Like, the crazy part is whoever's seen it, there's a part where Cupcake attacks a person. And the entire crowd in the theater was like, whoa, what the fuck? Because
and that's when I was like, yo, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, this is a horror film. Like this is a slasher film, dude.
That part, it wasn't the fact that it was a slasher or anything. It was just so unbelievable. Like, that part was just totally unbelievable to me.
Like, in the sense of like reality, like it was just like, oh, that's dumb. But that's like goosebump shit. Like, that's that fucking just shit that's like, oh, okay.
The only reason why I gave this movie a chance is because of Jason Blum.
Jason Blum, yeah, which was like the Megan guy, right?
Only reason why I gave this movie a chance, and you can see him in this movie. I just wanted to see real. This was like Jason Blum light.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and that's not what I want to see from a Blumhouse movie.
But do you think it was really all that bad compared to the fact that he's done PG-13 horror films before? I mean, thrillers, because they're not really horror films. Because
his horror movies are horror fucking movies, dude.
Yeah. So you think he totally dropped the ball on this one in the sense of like what he created?
No, I just think that he was limited with the PG-13 rating.
Yeah, same. I kind of feel
this wasn't his fault. He was given a job to make a PG-13 horror / mystery movie, and this is what you get.
Okay, but like in the factor of it, that's what Five Nights at Freddy's the video game is,
and that's why I was saying you're kind of basically saying you can't be totally horror because that's not what the video game is.
That's not what the video game is.
And I'm saying I don't give a fuck what the video game is. It should have probably been a full blown, because you were right there. Like, you were like, I don't know what they show in the video game, but they showed some shit in this movie that I don't know what kids under 13 are being able to see this movie.
So whenever in the video game they do show something kind of gory, the image is done in 8-bit. It's done in like Nintendo graphics, Atari graphics. So even like when there's like blood or any kind of like colorish of red, like it's always done in like a video game format. Yep. So like even with that, that's the throwaway. That's the part where they're like, whoa, look at this gore. Here's a kid outside the place bleeding to death. It's all 8-bit, so it just looks like fucking squares and colors. It's not to scare the child. The scaring part comes from the jump scare, the sounds that they use, the walking and the footsteps of the characters, the sounds that you have to react to in game to. Because it's like an escape puzzle. Huh?
The game is first person.
Yes, in a way. The new game is. So the new game Security Breach is a full-blood walking around, pathways, open world. You're in an arcade. You get to move around. You do a bunch of free stuff. Beforehand, the game was literally 2 pictures, you and them, and then the thing would pan across the photo, and then things would come out. It was very raw, dude. Like,
okay.
That's the thing, and that's the cool part is you got this amazing story from a JPEG style video game. Like it's such. That's why I'm saying like it's such a milestone to see it come this far, because it wasn't the story or the game that made the story. It was the love of the fans that created the backup story. And then once it was created and there was like forums and people were talking, Cawthon then went and said, you know what? I'm going to take this. I'm going to take that. We're going to implement this. We're going to implement that. And I'm going to put my story in. And, here's this guy, MatPat, Markiplier, coming up with theories and stories, million people watching their videos. Let me take what they said because that's a cool idea. Dream theory, fucking MatPat hates that. Let's put that in because the first 3 video games were all a dream. They weren't even real. The 4th game is the one that's real. It gets real. That's the problem is that with years of processing the game and the story and the lore, Scott Cawthon had to go back and retcon a bunch of shit for later iterations of the story, more development for it to make sense. So like him coming in and making a film, like even this does not correlate very well to the stories. Like if you were to ask me right now, man, Chris, that was kind of cool. It kind of caught my attention. Where do you think I should jump into the 8 games, the 12 books? Like where should I start to really get into this story? And I would say I don't have an answer for you because the movie only has tidbits of what the game is and the books have. So like all the characters in the story, all of them have silver eyes. Like the way that the Bonnie character comes out and he has wide eyes. All the original characters have that. For the movie, they changed it where their eyes can change colors when they're evil or bad or whatever. The characters themselves, yes, are imbued in it, but the imbuement of their body and their parts is this item called remnant, which is like a goo that William Afton finds out and creates when he kills the kids and can trap their souls to items and stuff. So like every animatronic has a soul. So technically, Cupcake has a soul. Technically, Balloon Boy has a soul. So like that's even a thing. Even the Ellie dummy character in there, when they were going to put the girl in it, she would be imbued with the soul, which doesn't really make sense. That's like real like horror movie, right? Like we're talking about, like it just kind of like, I don't know, like let me ask you something. Watching it as for what it's worth, did it make sense that the kids' ghosts possessed the toys or the animatronics and they were able to talk to that little girl?
No.
Like, did that make sense, or was it just like, did you just be like, it's a movie, whatever?
At that point, I was so disengaged, I didn't give a shit. But honestly, yeah, like the kids showing up at the house with Freddy.
No, yeah, and that wasn't even the regular Freddy.
How the fuck did Freddy get all the way over to the fucking house?
See, that's where I would feel that doesn't help people that don't know. That character is Golden Freddy. So that kid wasn't even one of the original 5. He was the first kid that was killed back when Springtrap was the bunny rabbit. Like he's like the supernatural god of those characters. That's why that one had like a missing eye, was golden, wasn't even like brown. Like it wasn't the Freddy from the first. See, you didn't even break that down, right? Like, so that was the second Freddy character. That blonde-haired kid, there was another Freddy that was the one that's the animatronic, and then that was like the spirit leading everybody. That's the true spirit that hates William Afton. That's the one that wants to kill him, that drags him, that traps him at the end and all that stuff. In the story, that character ends up, when he traps William Afton in the end, he traps him in hell and makes him relive. He ends up making him the security guard and making him relive those moments as the security guard over and over again for like a lifetime of eternity. In the books and in the story, William Afton at the end is going to survive 30 years on just sheer will of hating people in that room. And then he's going to come back as Springbok. And you're like, bro, he's a human being. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. 1 week, no food, bleeding. He's going to fucking die. How are you going to tell me he's going to survive 30 years?
Yeah.
And again, the story, it's very convoluted in the video game and the thing. But it was cool.
Another thing that was weird is there were a lot of people dying and no one giving a shit.
So okay, that's the one thing I wanted to touch base on. I was so mad at the fact that those fucking weird people went in and destroyed the place and got murdered. That Vanessa came and told that dude Mike, like, hey, something fucking happened. But someone cleaned all of those dead bodies up and stuffed them in. Was that Vanessa? Like, are we gonna just take into consideration that Vanny, the police officer, is the one that stuffed all those bodies in those extra things and stuff like that? Like, is that what we're coming to? Or did like William Afton go and clean up? Or did the fucking animatronics just...
We don't know.
We don't know. And that's
all I know is that there were a lot of dead bodies in this movie and no one noticed. No one even noticed.
Yeah, that's been the big... That's, of course, like, breaking it down with the sense of Five Nights at Freddy's, that's the equivalent of, so why does the security guard keep going back to work every day for $4 an hour? Like, why does he keep going back and putting himself in danger with these things that are willing to kill him? Like, just fucking don't go to work. Find a job at McDonald's. Like, you're going to get murdered.
See, like, that was like, I'm able to suspend my belief. I mean, I get it. Like that.
It's a silly concept.
I'm not going to nitpick that because it's the movie. It is what it is. But yeah, man, there was a lot of things that I didn't like about it. Again, what I did like was the opening scene.
Mm-hmm.
The animatronics were really good. And honestly, that's about as far as I got for it.
It's understandable.
Yeah,
because even with me, like that part of the story when like all those guys came in and yeah, like I was kind of like, wow, no one gave a shit that these 4 people just died and one of them got cut in half and no one gave a complete fuck, dude. Like no one gave a complete. And Vanny's character went in there and did something and she's a cop.
And why did they wait to kill the little girl?
So the thing is they needed, I think they need permission to keep the soul, like for it to be like a deal with the devil, I guess. That's what I'm kind of taking. That's not even a thing in the stories either. They just fucking kill kids, like, but it's usually Afton that kills them and then puts the kids in shit. Like, so even that, like, why did the animatronics all of a sudden turn into like huge pieces of shit? Like to be,
it
like,
was just weird. Like, they were like their best
good
friends. They made
a fucking fort for no fucking reason.
They made a fort with the little girl,
with the little girl, and
then they're just gonna kill her.
Like they're that's why I'm saying like a lot of this stuff, like it's not like
they waited until the guy found out what actually fucking kills them to actually make a move when they could have just killed them in the beginning. And the movie's over, game's over, you're dead.
Let me ask you something though, and this will be like kind of like I don't want to drag this on too much because yeah, like we can pick it all day long, right? Did you like the factor on how they implemented the pictures for the reveal to break the spell?
I would have liked for them to do more on that.
Like kind of expand on it more?
Yeah, you don't. Okay. They literally, you see the pictures basically throughout the whole movie, but you don't get to know like that's
a thing, right?
Weapon.
They didn't even focus.
They don't give that to you until literally like there's literally like a 10-second or 20-second gap where the light goes off and it's like, oh, and I don't even, and how do they find out it's about the pictures?
It's the little girl is just like, I'm gonna fucking draw him a picture and let them know that this is what happened. It's like, how did you figure that out? Like, how did you know? Like, there was no,
and that was within like 15-20 seconds. So it's like
at the end of the movie.
I was like, again, like something like that. I didn't nitpick too much on because at that point I'm like,
but the thing is that's a major thing. Like, so my biggest problem was that, like, if they would have expanded on that a little bit more, it would have helped the story out because then you would have been a little bit more about the supernatural nature of everything. And it kind of like, okay, like there's spells, there's factors, there's, things that I got to do, seances or whatever the fuck. And then the other thing was the William Afton thing. Like he pops up, fucking shoulder bumps this fucking dude, knocks him over, fucking stabs his daughter, like without even giving a fuck. Like the reveal of Vanny helping him out was super lackluster. The only part that was cool is at the very end, the spring trap is literally from the video game. The characters dragging him away straight from the video game and them getting their revenge. Like it's cool because it sets up this idea that we may get a a second film. For a first film, like, yes and no. Was it digestible? I mean, it's something that I could just watch. Was it something that I think should deserve an award? Probably not.
It's probably gonna make a lot of money though.
I think so. Do you think? Okay, my last question, and this is just on us being reviewers and stuff. Do you think this thing makes more money than Marvel? The Marvels?
Hell no.
Do you think the Marvels still beat it out?
Oh, the Marvels, the movie. Okay.
Yeah. Do you think Marvels beats it, or do you think this beats Marvels?
If you would have asked me last week, I would have said yes. But with the rumors being where they are now, I think that might have given the Marvels a boost. The Marvels might actually make some money. So,
who do you think's the cameo now in the Marvels?
I don't know. So it's a lot of
fucking chick from Secret Invasion, dude. I would be so fucking pissed, dude.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think that might give it a little bit of a boost. All I know is that the Five Nights at Freddy's had a pretty decent pre-sale.
Okay,
but the fact that you're able to watch it at home,
all you want on Peacock,
it's not going to help this at all.
Man. So, would you? I'm not going to ask for a rating. I'm going to ask for would you recommend it?
I wouldn't recommend it only because it's not for me, and that's fine. It's totally fine. It's not for me. I wouldn't recommend it. But I will give you my rating though, because I'm gonna want a rating from you.
Okay. Yeah.
I will give this rating probably of a 6, a 5.5, maybe 6. What would you give this rating, and would you recommend this?
I mean, for me, it's different because I'm a fan of the series. So
what would you give it?
As a fan, I'm gonna give it a higher making. I'm gonna give it like an 8, and that's just because of the fact that the Easter eggs, the Matt Pat was in it, the fucking guy at the taxi, like Balloon Boy, like all the things that were there as a fan. It was very fan servicey. If I was watching it as a film,
gives Loki season 2 a 7, but
if I was rating this as a person watching a film like that, and I wasn't a part of it, I probably wouldn't be as high. Fuck no, I wouldn't be as high. Because it would be just a lot to digest in such a little bit of time and not a lot of information.
Are you looking forward to a second movie if they make one?
You know what? I for this being their first one, I would be interested in a second one. And the reason why is because the good thing about the guy, Scott Kaufman, is he listens to the fucking fans. Like, he listens to the fans. So, like, right now, if the outcry is rated R, would have made it better. And he 100% sees the crowd say that, like, he's going to be like, okay, if that's what you guys really want, we're going to go that direction. Like,
it's like you have Jason Blum as a producer. It's like you throwing bicycle tires on a fucking Ferrari, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I get it.
What the fuck, man?
I get it. The thing is like I said, like, I get it. I know this isn't going to be for everybody. This is going to be, I guess, like my Kamala Khan. Like, this is going to be like my, like, there's a specific target that they shot for. And the thing is those people have made this franchise millions. You know what I mean? So, like, it's not far-fetched for them to reach at the fans and be like, cool, like, that's who we're going for. Because we know that that's a for sure sale. But the thing is like you said, like, making it digestible for the everyday goer, it needs to be presentable for them also. And the thing is Scott has a problem with letting his IP go. Like, he has a problem with letting other people touch it and be a part of it. I guarantee in interviews, and I haven't seen it yet, but I guarantee in interviews with the director, they're probably going to say that they were only given limited opportunity for them to really excel on, like, what they do. And they had to do what Scott wanted. And that was the problem with WB. And that was the problem with other IPs, is that other companies were having problems making him happy. Like, making it to where it was what he wanted. Because, it's like you said, it's on the edge of being everything else that everybody else wants. I think it's pretty cool that he took a chance, wanted to put his thing out there. But if it's unsuccessful, I think he'll eventually jump onto the other boat. So part 2, I would be pretty excited about. There's a lot to experience and there's a lot to expand. There's Sister Location, there's Nightmare Location, there's Security Breach, and when they make the full arcade, which is the new game, there's Ruin. Bunch of new characters that they do. What are they going to do with Vanny's character now that she's out there trying to fight her father? Eventually, what happens in the comics or in the game is William Afton dies, and the suit comes to life, and it's like it's imbued with his like essence, and it just turns into a slasher, even to where what was that video game, Dead by Daylight, has been clamoring at Scott Kaufman to allow them to use that character in their video game. So like it's gotten that deep, which is really, really cool, really exciting to see what the future holds. I'm really excited. Do I recommend it? If you're a fan, I recommend this film. If you're not a fan, just go in there and enjoy. Like, just, you know, watch it as like an everyday.
Or if you're not a fan and you're kind of skeptical, again, watch it on Peacock.
Yeah, watch it on Peacock. Can't lose.
It's 2 hours, which I think is kind of ridiculous for this type of movie.
It's supposed to be 3, and then it dropped to 1.
Yeah, no, 2 hours is extremely long.
Are you gonna watch it?
Yeah, 2 hours is pretty long for this movie, but it doesn't cost you but 2 hours. So
it's a darker version of Scooby-Doo. Guys, if you've had the opportunity to go see Five Nights at Freddy's, what did you think? Give us your review in the comment section. We appreciate every one of you. And if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. And when you're done, you make sure you put your review up. You make sure you tag the Average Boys Podcast, because I want to read what you got to say. I want to hear if you had a good time or a bad time, or if it was just an everyday experience. We appreciate every one of you for tuning in. Guys, do not forget, like, share, and subscribe. We're on YouTube. We're on all your podcasting dreams. We're on every one of your essential media absorbing and digesting programs. Make sure you add us up. We appreciate every one of you. Brian, what do you got for this weekend? It's going to be Halloween. Are you going to be giving candies? Are you going to be doing anything cool? What's something cool in your neighborhood that they do?
I'm working tomorrow, and I could not tell you because I do not partake. I'll be taking my daughter out trick-or-treating. And that's about it, man. What about yourself?
Tomorrow we have United Collectors Expo in Mercedes, so we'll be out there doing our cosplay stuff, enjoying the times, looking at everybody's cool costumes, and just enjoying the festives. Guys, if you're out there, ladies and gentlemen, if you're out there and you're going out there and doing the Halloween thing, make sure you're safe. Make sure you take your kids out. Remember, this is a really great time for your children to get some really cool candies. Be safe with your candies too, guys. We appreciate every one of you. Thank you guys for tuning in on this great show, and we'll see you guys here next Friday on the Average Boys Podcast. You guys have a good weekend. We'll see you guys again next week.
Peace.